All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 5 here of the final set of the day. 3D Clan up against 8-Bit Army. On the south side of the map, Striker and Zerton in the cool colors. In the north of the map, 3D Clan in the warmer colors. All right, well, the opening for this game, we can suspect that the Ottoman player is going to be looking to put out some early aggression onto the pit mines. Garneth, of course, going to be playing the HRE, so B going to have to be, or rather, Zerton going to have to go cross map here to the Malian pit mine. But take a look at the spawning location of the pit mine. It is in the front of the base, which means that it's going to be very exposed. Is that an outpost already coming up though?
Oh, I would love to see that. If that's an
outpost.
If that's an outpost, the entire game plan of Zerton and Striker could fall apart, because I feel like so much relies on being able to damage this pit mine at the beginning. If you can't eliminate that threat, this Dark Age aggression won't yield any results, and then Malians and HRE will just proceed with their usual Slink strategy.
I think denying the pit mine's always a little bit of a pipe dream. Damaging the houses, though, is 100% on the cards. And it's still on the cards here with that outpost. That outpost doesn't defend. Even with arrow slits, that outpost doesn't defend the houses. It's too far away. The only way you can do it is by actually putting the pit mine within the ring of those buildings that actually need, or that buff up the pit mine. So unfortunately, I mean, Zerton's still going to be able to hit that position on the backside. You do see the first spearmen making their way out now. Age ups coming through for Garneth. Striker as well. Let's take a look in the base of Garneth. Get a bit of an idea of how good this Archon Chapel is. Give it a rating out of 10, Lidakor. I'm sure you'll be keen to see what it looks like. Up against the wood line.
Ooh, nice.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
I mean, it's about as good as you'd hope for, right?
Yeah, you could get it better if you were to chop the forest to the south, but that's the front and it's more exposed to enemies, so I think given the circumstances, this is the best that you can get.
Actually, yeah, you're right. That is a really good point. And then you could have gone berries as well. But I guess realistically, you're not even going to be using berries in this matchup or in this game because you've got B, who's going to just be pumping you cows. Now, the age up's going to be coming through for B right now. The mill already coming down for him. Let's take a look and see in B's base. Do we have the second... do we have the Saharan Trade Network? It is. Look at this. The double defense. Yeah. Oh, don't you love that? Isn't that cute?
I love it. It's really good, and it's going to give that long-term trade potential that you talk so much about. But as you said, it's going to be just the defense of the pit mine so far, and we've talked about this. This build is rather predictable when you see HRE and the Malians. How do you stop that? Looks like Zerton has an idea, wants to move forward for what seems to be a tower rush, but this feels rather ambitious right now. He only has 2 spearmen and 1 knight escorting him. Yeah,
so the main issue that he's going to have is that Garneth is just going to pull all of his villas and siege down the outpost. And we can see that Garneth is trying his best to get out an outpost himself, which is a smart move, especially considering the outpost in that position is actually going to deny any other outpost from coming through. But the problem he's going to have is the prelate repairing, or rather healing up the villagers. Look how much healing these guys are getting off, and he realizes there's nothing he can do. And there's no real sweet spot here for him to put down an additional outpost. The best case scenario is he goes down on this wood line a little bit lower, but he's not going to have any... He's going to have a lot of trouble trying to fit it in. Tries to go to the top side. This is still not going to be good enough. He's going to lose villagers here. He tries for this.
The mind games are just crazy in this game if you think about that. Starting off with the fact that Striker and Zerton try to counterpick this combination, had the idea to try and harass the pit mine at the beginning. Nice response from B, expecting that push. And then same thing over here, spotting this aggression on the gold mine, getting a preemptive tower up, and you see Zerton, he's struggling to get a tower up, and the problem is that while he's slowing down the HRE player a tiny bit, realistically, the delay here is not massive, and at the end of the day, Garneth is still gonna be on a good course to get to Castle Age.
Yeah, we can see at the moment he's stacking up quite a bit of gold, 400 gold. So not terrible. And worst case scenario, if he does get idled out on the gold, he just asks his ally, hey mate, can you send me some gold? That's exactly what he'll do, because he's playing as the Malians. And one of the things they do well is gold.
Now, what is Striker up to? He's been making a couple of knights, but not much. As you kind of was theory crafting at the beginning of the game, on paper, a French fast castle with a bit of a sling could work into Arbalettrier. I think it's too risky, but I'm curious how Striker is doing with the resources, because it's not like he's investing into a tremendous amount of knights.
We'll take a look from his perspective and get a bit of an idea. Let's have a look and see. He's not stacking up any resources at the moment, so no indication of Castle Age coming through at the moment. Just funneling it all into, at least at this stage, early nights. That is it. The Burgrave Palace going to be coming up. There is a bit of a potential for this to be denied. Not the best positioning coming in from Garneth. Ideally, you'd love this closer to the town center.
Yeah, it's a little risky, actually, with those knights roaming the map. Hello?
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what this decision-making is, but he looks to just keep the knight. I don't know why he just didn't commit to that. I mean, that's 3 villages. Of course, you lose knights. Maybe he's looking to pick up chivalry.
Yeah,
that could be it. Yeah.
It's more than that. I feel like you know what kind of strategy you're up against. You need to delay this as much as possible. I think the price you pay for those knights in exchange for delaying that Burgrave build is immensely valuable, and I really feel like it's just such an unnecessary risk taken here by Garneth to build it this much to the front.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Now, interestingly, from Zerton, we don't see a whole lot of pressure out on the map just yet. Where is he? What is he doing? Let's take a look in the base. Double military school, archery range coming up. We're at the 7-minute mark. What has he been doing all this time? What actually, like, genuinely, what has he been doing? We're about to cross the 8-minute mark, and he's just putting down his first archery range. He's got 5 spearmen. Has he dropped a second TC somewhere? Is he aging up? Can we check his resources?
Yeah,
maybe he's going Castle Age. Can we check?
It's puzzling.
Oh yeah, he's edging up. Okay, there you go. Okay, I'm looking. Yeah. I'm like, this is not right. Like, he just doesn't have anything. What's going on? Yeah, I was gonna like propose, like, was he AFK? What happened here? But it is gonna be double Castle Age coming through from the side of the 3D clan, and then at the same time, on the other side, Zerton's gonna be the one going to Castle Age here. Now, keep in mind, he could be looking for. Oh, it's gonna take time. What if he went for the Imperial Council? The Istanbul Imperial Council. Let's see if he does it. Yeah, he does. There you go. All right, I know what he's doing. Cool. So going to be dropping down. He'll drop down 2 more military schools when he gets up to the next stage, and then he's going to ship Janissaries, and he's going to try and keep the Janissaries alive enough to deal with the men at arms. The problem
I think you open crossbows. I don't think you open.
Yeah, you do. Oh, no, you'll ship them from the home city. Oh, sorry, that's Age of Empires 3 talking. The Vizier right? Point. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yes, you will open with crossbows, but you will ship the Janissaries, because the Janissaries are twofold here. They work well against cavalry, and they also deal with the men-at-arms.
And it's just meat on the squad right now. That's the big thing. You just need something that deals with them, and at the end of the day, that landmark being exposed to the knights has caused a quite significant delay. Usually by this time you see the flood from the HRE come in, and that's not really the case over here. Now, do keep in mind that B is not in a full sling mode. In fact, he's going heavy on the archers. So they're expecting Janissaries, they're expecting crossbows, and you still shouldn't sleep on just a big archer ball here from B, supported by the men-at-arms. But this is definitely looking decent for Striker and Zerton. I feel like they've kind of avoided the biggest danger that you can face with this matchup.
Yeah, so far so good. And definitely avoiding the overinvestment here, but losing quite a bit of health on these knights. Now, the one thing I'd like to know, can we take a look and see, did Zerton, with his Vizier points, did he go up? Oh, we went with the meta. Okay, interesting. I was thinking that he should have gone up with the Imams, because then he could have taken away, or started taking away relics. But yeah, oh, what is he doing? Oh, okay, all right, he's gonna go into that direction instead. So Anatolian Hills and then to meta drums. So. Okay, not going to be going with the Janissaries at all. Well, good luck to him on the defensive.
Yeah, I mean, they see the amount of men-at-arms they face, and they say, okay, we don't need to panic. This is more... Yeah. It is actually easily something we can handle. And right now, well, the men-at-arms do have maces. Those are French knights we're talking about, so the charge and peel off type of approach could easily work, at least for the time being.
Yeah. Numbers here actually looking pretty good for the team in the south. So Salami going to be cheering extra hard in this game, I suspect. But I'm sure he can rest easy at the moment, knowing that the crossbow numbers are increasing. They're improving. Just got to be careful here with the micro. Zerton at the moment putting everything together. Nice little charge coming in from the side, though. Archer numbers beginning to build quite high for B. Spahi moving out. Knight's coming in from the backside. Crossbow numbers not really anywhere to be seen. He's only got 3 crossbows at the moment. And now eating alive all of those archers on the backside. The Knight's going to have to fall back away from this position. Men-at-Arms going to be able to catch one. See if he catches the second. Almost takes out that second Knight as well.
Yeah, some good value out there. Many of those pricey Knights going down. But the key thing right now is that you hold off the initial Men-at-Arms push. The risk you run is that you're facing 25 archers, though, and this is what I was talking about. I don't think that Striker and Zerton expected that many archers to hit the field, and on paper the Knights deal with them, but not when you have so many Men-at-Arms in front.
Yeah, now that the veterancies come through, I'm suspecting that we're going to see +1, +2 coming through shortly for these archers. If we're able to click on B's archers, let's have a look and see what upgrades we've got for them.
Yeah, that's a big one indeed. These are Castle Age archers against the Feudal Age army, so their armor-piercing power is actually going to be pretty nice.
All right, well, we hear a Vizier point coming through. Suspecting that he'll be working towards Janissaries, but at the moment, no real need for it. The main issue that he's got is the archers. Military camp is going to be coming through. Trying his best to hold on. The meta gets taken out. And by going for the Istanbul Imperial Council, there is a lack of siege that is now on the field for Zerton. Normally, the Ottomans as a civilization, yeah, they really need it. Normally, the Ottomans as a civilization move towards the MIA, the Mehmed Imperial Armory, but not in this case. And with that, it means that there is a lack of siege.
And the armory missing hurts them so much. If they had a single mangonel here, this game would be completely different. Men-at-Arms and archers, they can't fight against that. But now, there is just no siege out there. You could still go for a siege workshop, though, so that's definitely something that could be on the minds, and there it is, of Zerton. They need 1 or 2 good mangonel shots over here to even the battle out.
Yeah. A single mangonel changes the dynamics of this completely. But at the same time, I still feel like Striker's doing a pretty decent job over here cycling damage on his enemy. Not a whole lot of reinforcements are coming in at the moment, which they could be picking up, but they're not. Additional military schools coming through for Zerton. I'm liking the position more and more from 8-bit army. And now he's going to pick up the reinforcements, so doing the right thing. So he needs to be cutting reinforcements here.
Yes, indeed. That's a beautiful pick-off by Striker, intercepting some of those men-at-arms. They would really benefit from Castle Age here for Striker, but I feel like they're just too afraid of pulling that right now. They just want to go with maximum amount of knights and take a decisive fight before they really consider something like that.
Yeah, but now the crossbow's going to be able to hold on that backside. Archer's going to look to try and focus them down, and you can see how cautious he is with the crossbows, looking to try and move them back. But the Knight numbers here are going to be what clinch this game, or at least clinch this battle right now. And Striker and Zerton looking pretty solid in this position. Looks like it's going to be a clean-up on this isle for the moment. More Knights going to be coming through. Looking like a pretty even fight overall, though, but the Knight numbers do hold for Striker. He's still got double-digit Knights.
Yeah, the big thing is that the Archer Ball of B gets cleaned up. He's down to 17s, and it's gonna take some time until he reinforces this side, which means that Zerton can use that window to build up his crossbow mass to just deal with the men-at-arms, and then add a couple of mangonels to deal with the archers. It was crucial to see those knights getting a good charge on the men-at-arms. That was kind of what swung the battle in their favor. Now they could break out, but they still need to be cautious. They don't want to go overly bloodthirsty.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Now, on the defensive, I mean, you'd really love to see right now Striker or Zerton pull out a mangonel. Ideally, Zerton, because he's age 3. Striker might have a bit of trouble with it. Can we take a look at economies at the moment and see where each player is up to with regard to it? We did have a monastery in the north of the map dropped down by Garneth, so he's started picking up plenty of relics. When it comes to the relics on the map, I don't see a whole lot. I see 1 down to the south. That's realistically it. Where are the rest of the relics? There's 1. There's 2. Monastery, that's full. That's 3, 4, 5 relics now. He is all reliced up. 5 relics, guaranteed. That's a lot of gold. All right, will the Knights continue holding the line at the moment? He's kind of drawing his enemy away from this position. See the men-at-arms really starting to boost up in numbers. B and Garneth with a decent combo I'm liking the archers together with the men-at-arms.
Yeah, and it's the escalation as well. Just seconds ago, B was down to something like 15 archers. Now he's back to 35. And the Burgrave Pass, once again, it's the flood of units. And if you think about what they're facing knights, which take a lot of time to train. And then, other side, military schools, which in the long run pay off really well. But if you just look at a short period of time, they are not super fast training units. And it's showing on the battlefield. It's a 2-to-1 army ratio right now in the favor of 3D.
Yeah, 3D looking really solid here, and now the poison arrows have come through as well. It's going to make the lives of those knights even harder, because now the units that they're meant to counter all of a sudden do very well at dealing with them. Able to bypass a lot of that armor and begin issuing plenty of damage towards the enemy cavalry units, but now the men-at-arms beginning to work down, and B doing a great job of forcing his enemy out right now. Some Janissaries coming in from the town center would be of a big help right here, and exactly that's what he gets. But unfortunately, there's going to be ranged units there that are ready to counter him. Knights moving in on the backside. That's exactly the fight that 3D want. They want the archers to be fighting against the crossbows. They want the knights to be fighting against the men-at-arms, not the other way around, and that's exactly what they get.
Yes, indeed, and now looks like the men-at-arms are slowly retreating. Janissaries for the time being holding. Knights are still standing strong, but these are still feudal age knights, and now they're facing 40+ castle age men-at-arms. This is a difficult hold. They do have some nice choke points to work with, but look at that. Villagers getting caught off guard over here. Some good value out there for that farming eco being raided. Or, well, hunting eco, rather.
Yeah, it's really tough. But now, crossbow numbers together with the Janissaries looking solid. This is the type of fight right now that 8-bit army need. They need to make sure that the micro is on point, that they move around towards the backside, and indeed they do. Lots of archers coming out now for B. Still yet to be focused down. We can see that that Striker's almost trying to lead away from these men-at-arms, but he's just having so much trouble with them. A single mangonel would have changed the way that this game operates at this point, and Zerton going to surrender right now. Striker also going to be tapping out, and good game going to get called. 3DB go through to the main event. Huge stuff right there. Absolutely beautifully done by 3D Clan. Unfortunate for 8-bit army. They're going to have to head back to tomorrow, bring it all in. But 3D Clan demonstrating their prowess in that last game, and beautiful outside-the-box thinking. We saw a lovely counter strategy coming in, getting developed by Striker and Garneth, or rather by Striker and Zerton. But B and Garneth had thought ahead. They're like, well, even if they go crossbows, that's fine. They can make all the crossbows they like. We're just going to make archers, and we make the best damn archers that there are. Malian archers are insane, Lidakor.
They are, and B is just such a proficient player with the archers. If you go back to his Delhi games, he's just so good with them, and then you look at the Malian archer play, and the mind games that went into this game was just stunning, really. Striker and Zerton, they thought they had a decent matchup against the Malian HRE over here. They had a game plan, but that didn't really work out. Remember that kind of failed tower rush by Zerton was read perfectly by Garneth and B. And then at the end of the day, obviously, just take a look at that gold income for B with the Malians. 12,000, more than the two opponents combined. And of course, the flood of archers, the Burgrave Palace working to perfection. And with that, 3D indeed takes the set. They will qualify for the main event, but the silver lining here for the 8-bit army is that they have had a really good run over here, and I think if they continue to play like they did today, they should get themselves a spot tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Remember that today, obviously, there are qualifiers, but there's also a second set of qualifiers that will be happening tomorrow. So kind of like your second